Today I'm going to share with you how to make the basic of most basic boxes that comes with a separate base to lid. So sometimes when you make something like the card here, for example, you have lots of dimension and height to the front of your card. And whilst that may be good and you might be able to fit it in an envelope, especially when we've got something like the envelope punch board where you can make envelopes to almost any size you should need really. You could make a slightly bigger envelope and then that might take account of some of the things and heights that you might have on your card. But something like this where it's got these paper flowers, I just don't want to chance it. So I'm going to put it in a box. So here's a base. It's just very slightly bigger than, let's put it that way, than my card, and I'm going to put it with a lid. And in this instance I tied it with a ribbon. But I'm not a huge maker of boxes, and that's because I kind of sit there sometimes and go, oh, I can't remember how to do it. But it is the easiest of ways, and if you look at the next video that I'm going to do as well, the next video has sort of reinforced sides. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's just a different way of making the same sort of thing. But I wanted to come basic. Let's just do top and bottom as easy as they come and go for it. So I thought I'd draw on here first to kind of show you. So let's say you've made a card that is a 5x5 card. And so this is my 5x5 card. I'm not counting, so don't, if it's not a square, don't shoot me. So that's the size of my card. So I want my box to be just a smidgen bigger. I'd probably make it, let's say, 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it just has 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Whoop, whoop. Now I'm not drawing straight lines. Don't sit there and think I'm doing this perfectly. So this outer bit here is 5 1/8 of an inch. So what we're talking about is this section, this bit here. So if my card is 5x5, let's say this is 5 1/8. And then I literally measure my card as well. I want to see, well, how much height do I need on it? How high is it? And I literally did this. I put it down on my grid paper. I went, whoa, I need it to be 1 inch tall. So these sides had to be 1 inch tall. So all we do is add another inch all the way round, whoop, to make our very simple sides. And that's it. So we know for this 5x5 card that we need, for the base, it's going to be 5 1/8 plus 1 inch plus 1 inch. So it's going to be 7 1/8 inch. And because this is square, it's going to be 7 1/8 inch. Now for the lid, varies, depends on obviously how thick the card is that you're making your box from. So you could use something like our Whisper White, and it's thinner than if you were to use something like our Designer Series paper. And in the example I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to use our new foil papers. These are actually free papers. You can grab them at the moment. We're in February 2018 at the moment, until the end of March 2018. If you place an order with me for £45 or more, you can get a pack of 12 of these papers, and there's 4 designs, 3 sheets of each design, and they're fab, but they're very thick. I mean, you can hear that probably, very thick. So a good thick sturdy card. So these are actually the pieces that I've made, and can you see, if I put that up there, the lid is just a fraction all the way round, just a fraction bigger, and that's just 1/8 of an inch. So I can either just sit there and go, well, it's 7 1/8, so 7 2/8, which if you did fractions at school, I'm going back a little bit now, is actually 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. If you did want to do it like this, you'd sit there and say, well, this needed to be 5 1/4 plus my inch plus my inch plus my inch plus my inch. It would be 5 1/4, 6 1/4, 7 1/4. So there we go. Now if you had a slightly different size card, so let's say we had a 4, or I might actually do it to size now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? There we go. So this is a 4" by 6" card. I just picked figures out of thin air. It doesn't matter. And again, you need to measure your cards and just see what they are. I'm doing these in inches even though I am in the UK and Europe, just because sometimes it works a little bit better. If you are metric only kind of a girl, then really you're looking at adding on, I was going to say, let me think, what is, let's get the centimetres out here. Just 1/2 centimetre really. Just 1/2 centimetre, that's all. So there we go. Right, so 6 by 4. So we know that our base for our box needs to be 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it needs to be 6 and 1/8 by 4 and 1/8. And we need 1 inch all the way round. So 6 and 1/8, 7th and 1/8, 8th, 8th and 1/8, 8th and 1/8 by 6 and 1/8, which is at 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. So that's how you need to start off for your 4 by 6 and just go from there. So you're literally, for the base, it's 1/8 of an inch more, and for the lid, it's another 1/8 of an inch more, or 1/2 centimetre, whichever you're using. So there we go. So, and then you'll end up, when you cut out 2 bits of card, you're going to end up, as I say, with something that's just a fraction smaller or bigger, 1 bit smaller, 1 bit bigger. And remember I said my sides are going to be 1 inch, so I get my trimmer, and what you can see here, if I lift that up, is 1 inch mark. So what I want to do is I want to go around every single piece and just score. Don't get your scoring, that's your cutting blade, move that right out the way and use your scoring blade. So there's 1 inch, go up and down, whichever suits you. There we go. And we're going to do that, exactly that, on both pieces. So there's another. And obviously these boxes can be for anything. They don't have to be cards. You can measure anything that you need. Say a flat box, you don't even need it to be a flat box. This is the basis of any lid or any box with a separate lid and separate top. So you know, you could have a Terry's chocolate orange and make it 2 inches, so these sides might be 2 inches high or 3 inches high, whatever. As long as you just measure what you need, so that your base and the sides that you need as well, and you can't go wrong. So grab a pair of scissors, and what we need to do is we're just going to, on this little corner here, is we're just going to snip up along that line. Just once on each corner. We're not cutting them out, so I'm not going to sit there and go like that. And I'm going to go round again, just 1 snip. There we go. And 1 snip. Same with the other piece. So again, 1 snip. 1 snip. Now if you were using thicker cards, I would suggest more of a 1/4 of an inch than 1/8 of an inch. So we'll see how snug this is, and depends on what kind of a fit you want on your boxes as well. So I tend to use my fingers first, but then I always go in with my bone folder. There's nothing like a reinforced fold with a bone folder. It just makes it clean, accurate. You can use lots of things, but that's one of the things a bone folder's for. And so easy. Don't want to ruin your fingernails. And do that on both. Talk amongst yourselves. I did do one of these videos before actually, where I cut it and scored it, but I thought actually if you really are beginning, you want to see everything, don't you really? So now let's see what. So different glues you can use. Obviously it depends on, she says, trying to find it. Now I am a bit of a snail fan, so I like a tape runner, but sometimes for boxes you need stronger glue. So it could be that you have what we used to call it red tape. It used to be tape with a red bit of plastic used to peel off. But fast fuse now is like red tape on a roll. So you can, for this I'm going to use snail, but you can use fast fuse, you can use double-sided tape, you can use something like a Tombow as well. All I would say with that, it's great, so it's pro, is that once you glue it, you've got a little bit of wiggle room so that you can make sure that your corners are exactly matched up, which is great, but it does mean you need to hold it a little bit longer because it's not an instant stick. It's only a few seconds, sort of 5 seconds or something. So turn these over and you need to put your glue, so as I say, for easy's sake, I'm just using my snail for this. And I'm just putting glue, can you see, in each of the corners? And then what I want to do is I'm going to match this piece of card here along with this ridge here. So I normally tuck that right in. I make sure that is exactly where I want it to be, and then give it a little squeeze on the inside and there. So again, tuck that in there, match up the corner with your edge. There we go. Tuck that one in, and again, corner to the edge first. And oh, there we go, last one. There we go. Now you might find, I mean, let's give you an example here, and especially now I've stuck that, you might find, depending on where you're cutting and how exactly accurate you are, you may find that you've just got a little overlap like that, and it might not bother you. But if it does, just come in there with a pair of scissors and you're trimmed and you're done. That's it. I think all the others were pretty good. Maybe just depends how much of a perfectionist you are. Sometimes I can be. Oh, I'm not going to do that one. I could do it that side maybe. There you go. But just use your. There we go. And so same again. We'll turn it over. So this is almost like right side. And oh, this is quite a glossy card. This one. It's got quite a glossy finish. So again, exactly the same. Corner to corner, and it depends on how good you have been at measuring those up as to whether you've got a bit sticking out or not. Just because in boxes sometimes a millimetre can make all the difference, but it can always be rectified, so don't worry. So there you go. So that's quite a big, well, I'd say that's quite a big one, but I'm just going to come in there and use my scissors to just slightly trim. Whoop. There we go, and again there, I'll just trim that. Just so you've got, let's say, you might be absolutely fine with that, and if you are, that's all good. But I am a little bit OCD, so there we go, I think that one's fine. That's it, perfect. So there we go, so a top and a bottom as such, and as you can see, one fits in the other one perfectly, but although I wanted that, there we go. So you will have a little bit of give on that, but you can see that's what 1/8 of an inch does. And look, you've got a lovely, beautiful box, all made. It doesn't, I mean, it does, look, if I hold it, it doesn't fall out. So it's quite snug, but not ridiculously snug. So there we go, and obviously a nice big bow or something on there, or as I say, I mean, look, I did on this one, I put my mum's name along there. So you can add it or just leave it like that. It's very pretty just the way it is. I have done another video actually on colouring this paper. So if you wanted to see how I did that, then look for that. It's actually on the Celebration second release overview, and it says colouring foil paper. So if you want to see that, you can see that. And say if you want to watch the next video as well, then I share with you just how, I mean, this is a perfect box, very easy, very simple, very nice, very professional. But you might just not like seeing these bits inside. So I show you a way of making a double side and folding it over so you've got perfect insides as well. And again, if you're doing that with a slightly thinner card, you might wish to, what am I doing outside? Always the same if you fiddle. You might want to have a look at the other video as well, which is just slightly stepped up, as I say, slightly a better finish, but this is absolutely perfect for what we need, and all is good. So if you've liked this video, if you want to give me a thumbs up, if you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel already, then feel free to hit the subscribe button below as well. Any of the products that you have seen, well, to be fair, we've only used the paper, and I was about to say you can buy my online shop, but you can't because it's free with an order. But if you if you want to place an order at www.natalieoshea.stampinup.net, so natalieoshea.stampinup.net, you can order £45 and you can pick one of these for free if you're watching this between today, February the 8th, 2018, and the end of March. There we go. That's it. I'm going to leave it for you. Thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. And as I say, you can watch the other videos in this little series as well to see other ways. Thanks. Bye.